Hello guys, this is third part of the glycolysis, and in our first part and second part we discussed about the pathway of glycolysis and the phases of glycolysis along with the important aspects of the glycolysis. So if you have not watched the previous video glycolysis part 1 and part 2, please consider watching those videos for continuation on the topic, and you can find those videos on the I button and in the playlist named carbohydrate metabolism bracket biochemistry. So in today's part 3 we shall discuss about the regulation of the glycolysis pathway or glycolysis cycle, and we shall also discuss about the differences about the exokinase and exokinase and glucokinase. As in the first step we wrote that glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate with the help of enzyme glucokinase or hexokinase. So in which condition hexokinase is operating or takes part, and under which condition glucokinase takes part, we'll discuss these parts in difference of glucokinase and hexokinase. So starting from the regulation of the glycolysis, there are three irreversible reactions in the glycolysis, yes or no? As I mentioned earlier, the first step, third step and the last step, these three steps are the irreversible reactions, irreversible steps, okay, and these are catalyzed by, okay, so the irreversible reactions of the glycolysis are reactions catalyzed by three enzymes, yes or no? If they are hexokinase, that is the first step, then phosphofructokinase, okay, so those who are watching this video first time, this PFK is phosphofructokinase, okay, I have explained about this in previous videos, so consider watching those videos. Hexokinase, phosphofructokinase and pyruvate kinase, yes or no? These are the pyruvate kinase for last step. Third step is phosphofructokinase, okay, pyruvate kinase. So reactions catalyzed by these enzymes are the irreversible reactions. So regulation of glycolysis depends upon the activation and inhibition of these enzymes, okay, these following enzymes: hexokinase, phosphofructokinase and pyruvate kinase. So regulation of glycolysis depends on inhibition and activation of these enzymes, okay. So what are the factors that inhibit these enzymes or activate these enzymes, okay? So first let's come to the hexokinase and glucokinase, okay. This hexokinase is inhibited by glucose 6 phosphate, okay, I'll write it at one place. Inhibited by glucose 6 phosphate. So I guess this compound is a bit familiar to us. Yeah, this is the enzyme formed when glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate by the same enzyme, with the help of same enzyme, yes or no? Glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate by the enzyme hexokinase or glucokinase, and the hexokinase is inhibited by the product formed glucose 6 phosphate inhibits hexokinase, okay. So this is a special type of enzyme inhibition. We shall discuss about this in while discussing about the enzymes, but I would like you all to find it out what type of enzyme inhibition is this, and please write it in the comment section, okay. Hexokinase is inhibited by glucose 6 phosphate, whereas glucokinase is under the control of insulin and glucagon. Okay, insulin and glucagon, where insulin activates and glucagon inhibits. Okay, so for this thing to remember, you can also use a general concept. What is the function of insulin? We have been learning from our lower grades that insulin is key for glucose to enter inside the cell. Yes or no? And inside the cell, it is broken down or oxidation takes place to form ATP. Okay, so glycolysis is breaking down of the glucose or conversion of glucose to form ATP. So insulin will activate the enzymes that are conducting or that are conducting this pathway, glycolysis pathway. But glucagon is responsible for release of stored glucose, that is glycogen. Yes or no? Glucagon. So glucagon will try to release glucose, that's why it will inhibit. Okay, you should keep this concept, general concept in your mind, so you will not never get confused either insulin inhibits or activates. Okay, so insulin activates and glucagon inhibits. So the next enzyme is phosphofructokinase. Yes or no? So phosphofructokinase is an allosteric enzyme. Okay, allosteric enzyme inhibited by citrate, okay, ATP, hydrogen ions. And what does hydrogen ions represent? Low pH. Yes or no? And activated by phosphofructokinase. Okay, inhibited by citrate, ATP, hydrogen ions, and activated by AMP, ADP, that is adenosine monophosphate, adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, AMP, ADP, and fructose 2,6 bisphosphate, ADP, AMP, ADP, and fructose 2,6 bisphosphate. Okay, then the third the enzyme for last reaction, that is pyruvate kinase, and same for pyruvate kinase as in glucokinase. Pyruvate kinase is also phosphofructokinase. Pyruvate kinase inhibited by glucagon and activated by insulin. Now let's come to the differences between the hexokinase and glucokinase. So hexokinase acts on all hexoses, ON. Okay, acts on all hexoses. The name indicates all hexoses, that is the hexoses are glucose, galactose, mannose, etc. But the glucokinase acts only on glucose. Okay, name indicates glucokinase only glucose, and hexokinase all hexoses acts only on glucose. Okay, and the next difference between them is it is active even in low sugar level, okay, that is blood glucose level, even in low blood glucose level. But glucokinase active or acts only when blood glucose level is higher than 100 mg per deciliter, okay. Blood glucose level is higher than 100 mg per deciliter, that is, it is active in well fed state, okay, well fed state. So should keep in mind, this one is important difference in between these two enzymes, or when they are activated, when they are, that's why we are writing about the reactions. Glucose is converted to glucose 6 phosphate, either hexokinase or glucokinase. So these are the conditions when they are activated, okay. And another example is hexokinase present in all tissues. Hexokinase is present in all tissues, while glucokinase is present in only liver and pancreas, okay, present in liver and pancreas. So this is a major difference between the two enzymes to keep in mind. And some other examples, some other differences are: has higher affinity for substrate. 5 has low affinity for substrate, okay, affinity for substrate. So once again, a term from enzymes I would like to introduce, that is Km value, okay. So what is Km value? So affinity, okay, so that is, so as, first let me write, has low Km value, has high Km value, okay. So Km value is the concentration of substrate to produce half of the maximum velocity, okay. Concentration of substrate that can produce or required to produce half of the maximum velocity is known as Km value, and Km value is fixed for particular enzyme, okay. So now you should remember the concept from your class 12 or 11 chemistry lectures. What is the conditions for increasing the rate of reaction? Higher collision rates, yes or no, or higher contact area. These factors, higher contact area, higher collision rate, these factors increase the rate of reaction. So same thing over here. When the substrate and enzyme have higher affinity for each other, then the reaction is faster, and higher affinity, reaction becomes faster. So less concentration, half of the maximum velocity can be reached. So less concentration means less Km value. Higher affinity, that means will require less concentration to reach the half of the maximum velocity. That's why it has low Km value. And in case of, if the substrate and enzyme has low affinity, that means more and more substrate should be added, or more and more concentration of substrate is required to reach the half of the maximum velocity. That is, reaching the half of the maximum velocity is trying to increase the rate of reaction, yes or no. So we need more and more concentration of substrate to increase the rate of reaction to reach the half of the maximum velocity. And the definition of Km value tells us that Km value is the concentration of substrate required to produce half of the maximum velocity, okay. So I hope you understood that why high affinity is leading to low Km value, and why low affinity for substrate, then the enzyme has higher Km value. So if you have still not understood, try to look into your book, read once or twice. Still you are confused, don't worry, we will cover this topic once again when we will discuss about the enzymes. So this much to discuss on glycolysis. We made 3 parts on glycolysis part 1, part 2 and part 3. So don't miss any part. watch all the parts, so that you will get continuity on the topic. And if you like the video, if you are able to understand, grab the concept, or subscribe to the channel will be great. And keep learning, keep enjoy learning. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.